If you are running a no-code or AI automation agency, or you were thinking about starting one and you want to do this as a freelancer or a consultant, I'm going to talk through the 3 main areas I believe you should focus on that are going to make you actually succeed in this endeavor. And I speak about this because I've been in the space for several years. I've worked with 100 plus businesses. At this point, I'm a top rated freelancer on Upwork in no code and automation. And these are the lessons I've learned. So I'm going to talk about the 3 main areas I believe you should focus on building systems for. That's going to make your life a lot easier, and you can actually increase the chances of succeeding in this business. On this screen, you can see a Miro board that I've built out. This is the system that I'm often talking to clients through, saying I can help build out these various things. And I'm going to talk about 3 main areas that I believe you should focus on. And the reason I talk about these 3 spaces is because they are easiest to measure the return on investment to the client, the ROI as they call it. So these 3 main sections are the top of funnel, essentially where leads come in. Then we have lead management. So what happens after people have opted in and they've booked calls, and onboarding. So getting the people who've now been closed into the business. I'm just going to zoom in and explain these a little bit further. So the big thing is, the reason I'm focusing on the sales side is, again, because it is easiest to measure the return on investment. So first section, if we're looking at the top of funnel, obviously what is a business? They are generating traffic from various sources, and then they are opting in, they're showing interest either by booking a call directly, so they jump further down the funnel, or they're just opting in for a lead magnet. They're raising their hand to some type of free resource and saying, I'm interested potentially in what you've got to offer. Let me exchange my email address, and then you can send me that resource. But now people are in the space and you want to nurture those leads. So one of the main sections I like to focus on with no-code automation is how are we nurturing our leads? And that could be we are adding them to the CRM, then we're sending them emails to nurture them. Could be also SMSs, because people do get a little bit overloaded with email these days. And then if they have sales reps on the team, we are creating tasks so the sales reps can reach out to those people. That's the thing, is speed to lead is very important, that I've learned from working with all these businesses at this point. When someone shows interest, you want to reach out to them as quick as you can, because interest fades and all those things can become more lukewarm when they've just expressed interest. So you want to speed to lead to be as short as possible. They're reaching out as quick as you can, whether that's automated emails, SMSs, or if you have a person actually calling them. So that's the most important thing, is that top of funnel automations. I just gave you a couple of suggestions you can use there. Now the second part is the lead management. As I just said, what happens when someone books in a call, or they've taken that step further of showing a bit more interest? We obviously want to manage those leads and the opportunities / deals as best as we can, and in an automated way as best as we can. Because the thing is, if you get leads into the business, that's great. Now you get people to book calls. You obviously want to get people to show up for those calls. And what happens if those people don't show up for those calls? Are we trying to win them back? If people show up to those calls but they don't close, what are we doing to close those people? All of these are opportunities for people to leak out. And these are people who've shown interest in the business. They've shown interest in your offer. So why wouldn't you do your absolute best to try to convert as many of those people as possible, especially the ones you finally put in the effort of warming them up, they've shown interest, you want to convert them. You don't want to lose those sales. And that's how, when I'm speaking to clients and I'm speaking about this, it's very easy to quantify the return on investment. Not very easy, but it's easier, because you can say, look, you're getting in 100 leads a week, for example. Okay, currently you only have 10 of them booking a call. Without changing any of the lead flow, if we can increase that to 15 people booking a call, without changing anything else, without changing close rates on the sales calls, without changing show-up rates, you've simply increased the number of people booking calls. So you're going to close more people. They're going to make more money in the business. So that's why focusing on this middle layer, the lead management after people booking calls or opportunities, is so easy to quantify, and why I recommend building automations around this space. Okay, now we've increased the number of people booking a call, for example. If we can increase the number of people showing up to those calls, again, now more people on calls, and we are going to close more deals, i.e. more money. If people don't close on the call and nothing else changes, but now we increase the number of people who convert afterwards by putting them into a sequence, a follow-up sequence, so like look for the call, send follow-ups, things like that, nurturing sequences, you're going to convert more people. There's more money. It's easy to measure the ROI. This is why I keep speaking about focusing on this sales aspect of the business, the top of funnel, this lead management side of it, and then the onboarding. This ties in a little bit into reporting. I haven't really spoken about this, but again, reporting is a part that I focus on, because it makes it easy for businesses to make decisions, and all of these things tie into each other. When you have good lead management, you can tie that into good reporting, and all of these things fuel back into return on investment and making more money for the business. Now, the final section, again, there is more to this, but these are the 3 sections I found it the easiest to measure return on investment, is the onboarding stage. I've seen this so many times of clients I've worked with, that they'll start closing more clients, they will start scaling, they'll start closing a lot more clients. The first place that things starts to fall over is the onboarding process. That's generating contracts. That is making sure people get the necessary resources when they are getting onboarded. They need to get access to learning platforms like School or Kajabi, and they also need to maybe get access to some shared spreadsheets and templates and tools and things like that. All that stuff takes time. And if you are finally scaling up and now you're jumping from closing 10 people to 20 people a week, you either need to have the most efficient systems possible, or you're gonna have to hire more people. And hiring people is more expensive, so why wouldn't you automate it? And it also gives people a better experience. Further, this ties into the project management side of things, in that once a business starts to scale up, if you start dropping the ball on the onboarding process, it doesn't leave the best taste in a person's mouth. Because if you start to scale a business, I've found that you start to tap into people who didn't necessarily know you before. They weren't always the warmest audience. You send them to more cold audiences and you have to warm them up. So you really want to have that onboarding process dialed in, because they might not have as much trust with you beforehand as your earlier, very warm audiences. So when I work with clients, we really want to get this onboarding process tied in, that it saves the team a ton of time, because the team needs to obviously be able to take on as many people as possible and stay on top of things. But also, so it's a 5-star experience for the people being onboarded, because that's going to impart all of the reviews you get. That's going to lead to better reviews if they had an amazing onboarding experience. If it's smooth, there's not going to be any post-purchase like remorse, as they say. The people are like, actually, no, let me back out. Let me get a refund within the first week type of thing. You're going to reduce all those things by having an automated and smooth onboarding process. And again, this ties back all into ROI. It's easy to quantify, to say, look, if we reduce the number of refund requests, if we increase the number of reviews, all these things are going to result in more money. I hope you found that helpful. Again, I focused on just 3 sections today, which was the top of funnel, like where the leads come in, then what happens after the leads come in, the lead management and their booking calls, and then the onboarding. And the reason I focused on these 3 areas is because they're the easiest to measure return on investment, in my opinion, and they're also the most standard across businesses. Every business has these 3 sections. And these are my learnings from having worked with so many businesses at this point. And this is what I recommend if you want to successfully sell AI no-code automation systems or builds. It's by focusing on the top of the funnel, the sales and marketing processes, because it's going to be easier to measure the return on investment and then obviously speak about these things when you sell to clients on sales calls. If you found this helpful, obviously I appreciate a subscription, always open to video ideas as well. And obviously if you want clarification on anything, you can drop those comments below and I always take that into regards and try implement it for the next videos.